Good evening and welcome to this evening's service. We'll begin with our prayer for peace.
Divine Creator, we ask that the light of highest awareness fill the minds and hearts of those who are open to your light. We ask that they be assisted and strengthened in their resolve to achieve peace using peaceful means. May their minds, their hearts, and their actions reflect the divine will to good for all. Comfort, strengthen, and support those who are in a difficult situation in their mind, body, or spirit. Bring confidence to them that your divine hand is at work in their life. Amen.
Well, we will begin with our recitation of what we call three healers, the faith, hope, and charity affirmation. As we do with most every gathering that we have at the Community Chapel of Holistic Healing, we were started in 1977 by Reverend Michelle Luson, a mystic and channel of the multidimensional consciousness. Her mission continues to be our mission, to bring the light of highest awareness to people so they can make that leap forward to the Christ consciousness. That is what is known as the transition now that we are going through, and it will create a transformation in all of humanity. So we'll begin with these are all balancing. These three balance all of our body systems energetically. The faith affirmation: I believe in the spiritual existence of myself as a perfect image of the divine creator. In this reflection, that is my physical embodiment, I have faith in the supreme guidance of my soul for my balance, needs, and opportunities. Outside of myself, there are also perfect images, and nothing can delude my thinking otherwise. The hope affirmation: acknowledging my faith in the omnipresence of my divinity. I hope for realization, awareness, and acknowledgement of the existence of the great I am within myself. The charity affirmation: in understanding faith, in knowing hope, I pledge my actions, my desires, and my thoughts on the physical planes of the earth to honor, to love, and to enlighten all that is a reflection of the divine outside myself, so that my perfection is imaged back to my Creator. So help me God. You can find a copy of those on our website if you would like to download them and have them somewhere where you can say them every day. They will help tremendously to keep you in alignment with your Heavenly Father. So tonight's talk is on the Festival of Goodwill. I'm not.
1 second, Mary. I'm trying to get
Right.
two things at once. So I'd like to introduce Mary for our talk tonight. Let me start my camera. There we go. So, as you know, Mary is our pastor at CCWH, the Community Chapel for Holistic Healing, and the Community Center of Holistic Healing. She's the president of the board, and she is a longstanding figure in our organization that was directed to be started in our nation's capital, who requested that our founding pastor, Reverend Michelle Luson, start the organ in D.C. rather than Virginia Beach, where Michelle was. They started the organization, and Mary has been a healer, a teacher, a seer, and a visionary since she has been pastor, or the whole time. She was ordained in 1991, and after she became pastor, she's been running the show for us. So thank you, Mary. We really appreciate all that you do for us and all you do for the world. So I want to turn it over to Mary. I'll be in the background doing the slides. And Mary, you just let me know when you want me to go to the next slide, okay? So everybody give it up for Mary, Pastor Mary Huber.
All right. I don't see the slides personally here. I think your computer is a little bit glitchy too. Just so you know.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
no.
it says my network is unstable, so I'll do the best that I can.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll just start talking. The Festival of Goodwill is the third of the cosmic festivals that have occurred. I really don't know when they started because, if we think we know what's going on in cosmos and the higher dimensions, I think we're kidding ourselves because we get a version of it because we are limited in our ability through the capacity that we have is nowhere near what we actually have when we're in spirit. So we just presume a lot of things about spirit and what goes on there. But this has been consistently passed on for many hundreds of years. So it may have been preceding that. It was perceived that there were three festivals on some higher plane that was generated to help humanity. We have dimensions and many levels of spirit who are absolutely vested in the earth and the human people on it because we come in from spirit. We are their partners in spirit. We are friends of theirs in spirit. And we descend into this third dimensional world and we lose awareness of that world. We function in a very different environment, kind of like a deep sea diver going into the depths of the oceans, where, there's, you have to carry your own light there in order to see because there's no visibility down there. It's kind of similar to that when we come in here because you really do require your own light to move in the world because that's where you contracted, so to speak. I think that's what we're calling it now, a contract, to come in and settle some things that we need to settle spiritually. We've been here around many times. We have an understanding in our organization of reincarnation because the one lifetime you couldn't possibly learn everything that you need to learn, all of the world that the world throws at you. You really need to get this in pieces. So we come back time after time through numbers of cultures. We come back, and each of us have our own numbers that we are dealing with, whether we have come back many times or just a relatively handful of times for them. But most people have been here several hundred times in different time frames, so that we have a comfort level with history and relating to it. But because of all of the problems that we've had and remembering our spiritual dimension that we came from and the perfection that we were to achieve here, we all made those mistakes that everybody has made in the world. And because of that, we do have to come back and try to do it better conquer that thing that we hadn't conquered before. So there is a great vested interest from dimensions and dimensions of an untold number of spirits willing to assist the much higher dimensions for the evolution of this planet and all on it. And it does include the planetary system itself, but we're part of that when we come here. Our physical form is exactly what the physical environment in the world is. This is where it comes from. The physical part of us comes from the earth, and this is why we're so connected to the earth. But anyway, as we are here, it is very well known that we needed a lot of help. And because of that, the festivals were created to gather in kind of a centralized place or consciousness, those who were truly vested in helping us. And it is described as a beautiful valley and among very, very high mountains. Now, everything that we get visually is representational. It is symbolic of the dimensions. This is our best view of it. So the valley that this is done in, it all begins with, first of all, with the festival of the Christ festival at Easter, the resurrection. That is the signal that everything is being renewed. It's springtime. There's a renewal energy coming in. The energy of renewal comes in at the Easter. That's the first festival. And the understanding that, as Jesus demonstrated, we all have the capacity to rise up, to bring up way above where we are in our consciousness, and to rejoin the Christ consciousness that existed. It exists in those higher dimensions. We're meant to go there and connect with it. So that is our first signal that we have this tremendous outpouring right then and there. The second festival is the Buddha. So Jesus came in to do that in the whole element of love. He was bringing love in and showing how love conquered the earth. The festival of the Buddha is in May. It's a full moon in May. And Buddha came in to show the enlightenment that we have the capacity to have, to be part of the mind of God, because we are part of the mind and the heart of God, and humans need to remember that and to participate in it in our own daily lives. So that festival comes in, and that's where the big valley is, with the Buddha coming in and the Christ. And they bless water at that time. They show a blessing of the water and the fluid part. And water represents not only spirit, symbolically, water also represents our emotional field that we have on the planet. We're being blessed in spirit, but our emotional field is also being blessed at that time. And that those waters that have been elevated through the blessing of the Christ and the Buddha are all gathered from the Easter festival, all the energy there, and all the energy from this Buddha festival are gathered. And this time in June, all of that concentrated, magnified energy is released to humanity in mass. This is a massive outpouring from spirit. We get outpourings from spirit all the time, but this is special concentration of the love energy that comes out as goodwill. So, as I said, we just don't know exactly that. That's our version of what is experienced on spirit. And I like the visual on that because it helps us to make that connection. So the beauty and the sacredness of this world itself, I think, is not actually appreciated by many people. There is a sacred beauty that's part of it. We can appreciate sometimes the physical beauty, but there behind it, behind everything is a higher dimension, is a higher realm supporting it. And the beauty of that shines through when you understand that and you tune into it. It just magnifies everything, and the sacredness of life everywhere on this planet would be better for all of us to understand, because people who don't have that view have limited themselves in so many ways, and they won't really get how important or as beautiful as this world is until they open their eyes to their own dimensional spirit. So the bounty that's prepared for us every year is right now in this month outpouring in great amounts. And this comes from the heart of Christ. It is the Christ who gathers that energy, by the way. It is the Christ who puts out the great call. There's a great toning, an intonation that the Christ puts out, and is heard. I don't know, how many dimensional worlds that there are, but it goes through all of them. It is so powerful in his call to the higher dimensions of the creator of all, down to all of us, to come forward, to bring all of these energies together and to be blessed by them. And it's interesting that June also is the feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus in the Catholic traditions. It's always been that way. And another example, I guess, would say, of this great outpouring of love and loving type energy is that many marriages prefer to be created and ceremonies created around marriage in this month. And that's been a long-standing tradition in humanity. So this is definitely a time when love increases on the planet. And goodwill means giving and kindness. That's kind of built into that. And I was just looking back at a philosopher, Immanuel Kant, said that the only thing intrinsically good without qualification is goodwill. This means one is acting purely out of a sense of inner moral commitment, regardless of the consequences. So goodwill and love are deeply connected. Goodwill is often described as love in action. While love is a feeling, goodwill is the active, intentional choice to support another person's well-being, to radiate kindness and seek the best for them without expecting anything in return. That really is the way of Christ, to think of it that way as well. And love as goodwill, the love in action, is more the unconditional love than love is as a desire. So if you want to say what is unconditional love, it's really goodwill. And love as goodwill is focused on what is good for the other. Now, for some reason, I didn't look this up right away, but I thought, well, is love a virtue? Yes, it is. But I looked up about what is virtue. And the four most important virtues are known as the cardinal virtues. Now, the cardinal virtues have been known through quite many centuries. Most refer back to the ancient Greece traditions. And then it was expanded by the Christian theologians. And they're called cardinal because the word is derived from the Latin carda, meaning to hinge. It's a hinge. That means that these four human virtues are upon which everything else is hinged. We have to recognize them. Now, they're divided up a little bit differently, I think, in the Catholic, but I didn't look them up. I just looked for the four major ones that are generally acknowledged. And the first one is wisdom, or also known as prudence. It's the ability to discern the true good in any given situation and choose the right path to achieve it. It is considered to be, quote, right reason in action, ensuring that your decisions are grounded in reality rather than emotion or bias. Now, to avoid deception, because we're talking about the ability to discern, this is the ability to look through things. So to avoid deception, especially prevalent today, more than it ever has been, we have to use our wisdom. This is achieved by going to your center of knowing within. You're going to create the situation where you go to your heart. You're going to develop your third eye. The third eye and the heart are completely in line with each other. Because if you want to know what is the truth, you must go to your heart. The heart knows the answer. Why does the heart know the answer? This is where your heart is the center where your I am presence is connected. A direct line to God is in the heart. And when we go there within in meditation and looking for our divine guidance, we are going to expand what is known as the third eye, the center of knowing. The Ajna center is the third eye. And that wisdom that comes from that level, once you have developed it thoroughly, is your truth. And it's important that we stop listening to other people's truths and build your own opinions based on your own judgment that comes from a higher place within you. What is your ideal? Can you measure things by that ideal? Do you know what your ideal is? And everything that's measured by that is coming from your God self, the self that is within you, the higher creative consciousness, your creator. That's where it's going to come from. And that consciousness knows everything. It knows the truth of everything. So developing this is the most important thing to avoid deception right now. And that may make the difference for many people as to how their future is going to go. We are in a position now to understand that it's the survival of the spiritually fit. It is no longer the era of the physically fit. You must be spiritually fit, and it's very evident. You see how everything is divided. The body and the emotions are in the physical. The mind and the spirit are your spiritual side. So there is a battle for people's minds today. If you can be convinced of something that's somebody else's agenda, even though it's not in your best interest, they're going to take you away from your spiritual side. They're going to take you away from your God, and you will be operating at somebody else's altar's God. And gosh, do we know where they're from? Do we know what level that they go to? Not very high, if at all. So it's very important that people recognize the need to be discerning, to go to your heart, and to find your own intuitive sense. But it has to be developed over time, and it has to be developed with some amount of dedication. A commitment to God is what is being asked of us all. And to do those meditations, our group has been well developed in that. We have done this for many years, but there are many people who maybe don't understand why meditation is important. They may have heard about it, but they don't, or they go in and out of it as a little exercise. But it isn't an exercise, it is a commitment to really attuning to your own creator source within that individual. So developing that connection to God, you can then safely connect to the higher creative forces in the universe, because you will be connected only to the light forces. You will not have deception coming in from any other level that exists. And this is the key to success today. And it's going to be the key to success for many, I guess the next 1,000 years at least. The people who will be here will have the ability not only to be psychic, but they'll know what they're looking at. And as the darkness leaves and no longer has a platform on this planet with people, then there will be more and more light available to tune into safely without trouble. But today it's important that we all understand that you go and read our last days in the Bible, the book of Revelation, and you will be told very clearly the devil will speak with the tongue of an angel in these times. It's very clearly outlined there of all the deceptions that are going on in the world and where they come from. So in order to have wisdom in our life, we must go to that level of self and keep to it. Don't put it down, don't put it aside, but stay with it, because that is where the world, as we do this, as each individual creates that element within them, we are joining in on those unseen levels. And this will sweep out, the light will sweep the darkness away. Darkness cannot stand where there is light. So this is how the whole humanity will be cleansed. And it's important that people understand that their whole future will depend on them being with their own creator within, looking for the good, looking for what is best, not just for themselves, but for others. This is the gift of wisdom, but it also relates to love and goodwill. Most of the problems that we have today are out of selfishness and greed. So those things that have to leave in order for us to really connect as a human body of people who will go on. And it is happening. There is no doubt about it. People are waking up every day and need some help now. They do need some help now to move on from where they're finally willing to let go. So it is still very important, our presence here, our encouragement, and our words of wisdom that we can impart to help people to get a handle on things. So we have to prepare, though, before we go into this. And that's the other thing that people have to learn. They can't just become psychic and then pick anything up that they want to pick up. they have to prepare very, very clearly to go to the right place, to center themselves, to clear themselves, to ground themselves, and to protect themselves. So I put a few slides up about Archangel Michael. He's a great defender of the light and of truth. He carries the sword of truth with him, and he will cut through things, but we have to really do those prayers. The one that's up right now is the one I find to be very beautiful. It is from the Casey Foundation, puts that one out, and it has you surrounding yourself with the Christ light, and that is your protection. The Christ in you is fully developed and needs to have what's in front of it and around it and covering it up and clear it away. Those are the things we're trying to get rid of. Anything that's cluttering us up from being in the Christ consciousness. And Archangel Michael will defend us. That's a powerful prayer. It's been used for centuries for the very reason I'm talking about, to keep that the darker, unwanted thoughts and distortions away from us. So that is very important that we have that in our life, and that if anyone's interested, Reverend Kelly Wilk has at least one instructional video on our website that can take you through the steps to clear and ground and protect herself. That she does a beautiful job of that. I would recommend that. The next virtue, the cardinal virtue, is courage. Of course, Michael's going to help you with courage as well. He's a great, the strength in Michael is phenomenal when you have Michael around you, and will give you, along with your understanding that Christ is standing there too with you. This is the clearing yourself up, because your Christ in you is going to be your everything. This is your connection, the one you have to go to, the consciousness you must go to and through in order to get to the perfection of your I am presence. You go through the Christ in order to get to your Father, the originator of your being. And Michael can help you with courage, along with a number of other very powerful masters and saints that you might have in mind. Because courage, or fortitude, is the strength and firmness of mind to overcome difficulties, to resist temptations, and endure hardship in pursuit of what is good. It allows you to conquer fear and persevere through obstacles. So that is a very important part of the whole complex of virtues that we all need in this life. The third one that was brought here to me is temperance, because that has to do with self-control. And that is key in the development of anybody who's in the spiritual or trying to develop themselves spiritually. It's the practice of self-restraint and balance and moderation. It prevents excess and moderates your attraction to worldly pleasures, helping you to maintain mastery over your own desires. You can see why that's one of the key cardinal virtues to hold on to and to develop. Of course, we're talking over lifetimes. We've been all working on all of these. The fourth one that is on this list is justice. It's the constant and firm will to give others their due. It is the social virtue that governs how you interact with humanity, promoting fairness, equity, and respect for the rights of all individuals. And of course, in that, you learn that through yourself, as well as your interactions with other people. I brought these out because love is a virtue. And love as a virtue is a deliberate daily habit of selflessness, compassion, and goodwill, rather than merely an emotion. It is the foundation that anchors and binds all other virtues, requiring patience, kindness, and a steady commitment to promoting the well-being of others. So we see that love is the underpinning. We see that love is the essence of everything that exists. God is pure love. We are in God and of God, and it is never otherwise. When we turn our attention away from that, we get into difficulty because we're not in the flow that requires us to be in love. To be in love with God, to be in love with self and self's creation, that, you are the creation of your creator who loved you so much to put you here and to have you participate with others in this lifetime. That great love deserves the daily attention to it, the daily commitment to doing the disciplines that we need to stay in alignment so that everything we do will be of Christ. Everything that we would do will have the validity that our soul wants to put its stamp on. We will make a difference in the world because there is nothing more attractive than somebody who is loving and shows it. It just radiates out of them, and they are such an attractive force. When I was beginning to awaken decades and decades ago, I went to a meeting that was held in Bethesda in one of the hotels. And I don't really know what the group was called anymore. I did remember. I just can't remember it anymore. And I was it was massively packed. And I was way in the back. But this man was up there speaking. And he, not just because of his words, which were, everything he said was beautiful and elevating, but he emanated the truth of, he was nothing but pure love. And I walked out and I thought, well, whatever, I have to have that. Love is very powerful. He emanated it in every syllable he had. And when he was not speaking, he was emanating. So love itself, you generate it. You generate it with your friends, you generate it in your family. But this constant, when we pay attention to this, and we know that this is what we want. We go with our desire. Where do we go for our comfort? Where do we go? We go within. We go within and deep. We go within to our heart. Always begin with your heart. Go in your meditation. After you've done your clearing, after you've done your grounding, after you've done your protection, go to your heart. Sit there with Christ. Sit there with your altar that's there, with your I am present. The cord, the silver cord is there. Sit there in that massively beautiful place that has to be massively beautiful. It's your Christ center. It's your God center. And you are there even just for minutes. Try to imagine that you can do that on the fly, kind of. You can have a moment or two here. You can just have an image. Many people have developed a way to constantly create an image of where they are when they're in their heart. And it's a very beautiful place. And if you can get a flash of that, if you can be imaginative enough that you can remember what you've created because you've done it a lot, you can bring in that perfect love, perfection of yourself, right like that, by remembering the image of where you are. You can visit it just for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, more if you can. But the flash of that, but you got to do it every day in order to develop it. And that will give you really a leg up in spirituality and put you in the position where you will understand that there is nothing but light in your life. You will understand that there is nothing but love in your life. And everything else flows from that. Right now, I'd like to just do a little meditation. And I'm not going to lead you, except in the beginning, just to get us down into our heart. But I want to give you some time to image something that is so beautiful. Could be an angel, could be, there you go. Could there's some angels on the screen. You have beautiful images around you being sent to you, and you have perfection of spirits around you that are so beautiful. Try to grab some of that beautiful spot there within you, our image, and we'll do this by simply taking your deep breaths and letting go of your tension and anything that is bothering you for right now or before or since, and just let everything go. You have these ideas now, and all of these ideas are generating a lot of goodwill right now for you from spirit. Spirits around you, can you sense them? And then as you're sensing those spirits, they are radiating goodwill to you. They are radiating love. And as you are now letting go and you are acknowledging the light, you are asking for the protection of Christ. You're asking that Lord Michael, come into my world and cut loose from me anything that is binding me to the world that is not to my interest, best interest, or highest interest. Cut those away so that I can be focused now on my own Christ within me. Let that happen. See yourself. Take a deep breath in through the top of your head, bring that light all the way through, and as it's moving through you, it's pushing out anything that is undesirable. Now take it all the way down, all of the chakras, and push it through the chakras that are in the earth. Push it through those chakras and let it disperse into the earth from there. You are grounded. You are always grounded. You have chakras down there, but acknowledge them. See the perfection now that you're there. Even those are clear. And all that the earth has received, they are ready to take it and use it for some other purpose. They'll resurrect it in some other form. You don't have to worry about that. Just let everything go. Take the deep breaths through the top of your head, pushing everything out. And as this light is moving through you, it's filling every cell in your body. And see that every cell in your body is filled with light. That means it's restored. It's perfect. And the perfection of you right now that is thoroughly grounded, centered, protected, you can now converse with those in spirit who are in your heart, in your love center. And we'll give you about 5 minutes to imagine your own inner world. Okay. I'd like you to begin to wrap up your session in spirit. And slowly, very slowly bring yourself back. Remembering any experiences you've had. Know that you've been blessed by multitude of spirit, masters, archangels, angels, while you were in this consciousness. Bring that back with you. Bring that power and the clarity and the love that was given to you there. And as you're ready, when I come back from my heart, I like to see myself coming down a path from the heart, wherever that is, and leads to my front door. And as my hand goes on the doorknob, I begin to become more aware of my environment from the third dimensional world and the sensory world here. By the time I take my seat, I am fully returned. And while you're coming back, I would like to read, because this is the time that the Great Invocation is read in spirit. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Thank you for participating this evening. And if you have a moment to go to our website and ccwh.com, you will find our schedules there and information and past chapel services and our PayPal button. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, if you can, we would appreciate greatly any donation that you might want to give to us. In anticipation of donation, I would like to read the blessing of thy offering that you will give. Father, Mother God, you are the giver of every good and perfect gift. Give us grateful hearts that we may share freely with others all you have given us. Amen. And now we join hands. Put your etheric hands out and join hands. And while we play the closing hymn, let there be peace on earth.